All right, y'all. We back with another episode of Dawg Talk. I am your host, Jay Mack. It is a very special episode tonight. Championship recap tonight, man. And I got a very special guest with me, man. I got my boy Zach Brown. My boy Zach from New Jersey. I coach my boy back at the University of North
What's going
Georgia.
on?
How
What's
you
going
doing, my
on?
brother? How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Good Monday night hoops we just watched, man. I mean, good. It was a good basketball. Probably one of the best national championships I've seen in a good
Nah,
bit,
it was
a good long
unbelievable
time.
hoops.
So,
Before we get
you know,
into it though,
let's
man,
get
this
to
whole
it.
NCAA tournament was crazy, man. Like, I'm just thinking about all the teams that really just surprised us and then just having all number one seeds in the finals too. So I just want to ask you, what team actually like popped up and surprised you
Yeah,
this tournament?
that's a good question, man. I mean, I think we've seen a lot of good talent. I think there are a lot of underdogs. A few underdogs in the weeds, even though we did end up with all number ones in the final four. I think throughout the tournament we saw a lot of good teams. I'm not gonna lie.
No, 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 yeah.
I don't even know if I consider Florida an underdog, but towards the end of the year, no, definitely not. But towards the end of the year with the SEC, bruh, I mean, I feel like a lot of people had Auburn on the radar, and then Walter Clayton just kind of started to step it up for them, even though he didn't have a great game in the Natty Champ. Um, he was just
Yeah.
that guy for
I
them throughout
think
the tournament, and I
Like, I
think they
think I
really did
knew,
step it up.
like, okay, I'll say this. I had Duke winning it all, but I knew Florida was going to make a deep run after just seeing Florida way
Yeah,
before the SEC tournament. When they played, I think they knocked off Auburn towards the end of the year, like late February. And that's when I knew. I was like, all right, these motherfuckers might be
yep,
tough. They might be
yep,
tough. But yeah, I think,
yeah,
honestly though, I think my team that surprised me, honestly, is Arkansas. Arkansas definitely, because you know how they started off the year.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think it's really unfortunate how they won. I mean, how they lost because they had a chance. They had a chance to make it. Like it came down to those final seconds, and if we're being honest,
Yeah.
like they had two really good looks, one to end regulation and one in OT. Um, and then they had the
Mhm.
game the whole time, and they kind of just sold the bag at the end. I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have made it just as far and made it to Natty Champ. Coach Calipari, obviously great coach, had a lot of experience under his belt, and took an underrated Arkansas team pretty far
Yeah.
in the
And I'm
tournament.
trying to
So
think of,
I would definitely say they were
hey, I'm trying to
underrated for
think
sure.
of another team that really surprised me. I can't say St. John's honestly let me down.
Yeah,
But I knew they really couldn't score, well, shoot the ball as well as everybody else, but they kind of let me down, honestly.
yeah. No, I think with St. John's it was just more like
Yeah.
experience. Like they had all the talent. Obviously, they've been showing it off all year. Like they got the seeding that they needed in the tournament. They were winning games. They were beating teams by a good margin, and they were convincing wins as well. But when it comes to things like like national championship games and NCAA tournament, when you get into the weed of the
Yeah.
of the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, even round of 32 a little bit, it's
Yeah.
strictly that experience
And
kind
I
of takes it
always
to the next
think
level
like
for
if
sure,
you win the
for sure.
Big
And I feel
East,
like they were just
like you
lacking
making
that.
it far. Like that's always been like growing up, always a Big East. Like I mean, they might not
Yeah,
make it to the Final Four or whatever, but they gonna make it to Sweet 16, Elite Eight. So I'm thinking
yeah,
like, okay, this is that Big East
yeah.
team that'll make it far. But
Because one thing about the Big East is like a lot of the teams, it's just good basketball. Like Big East is just good basketball, similar to like ACC style of play, where it's like you're not gonna have all the talent when it really comes down to it. Like you're just gonna get guys that just
yeah,
want to win, real fundamental, just good basketball players. So I definitely agree on that for sure. Big East got some hoopers.
who's a player that surprised you this tournament?
You know who I really wanted to see more of for Texas? Trey Johnson. Right now, right? He was nasty, nasty. I don't want to say he's underrated because he is projected a lottery in this upcoming draft. He was a freshman this year. I think Texas. I think Texas was one of those unfortunate teams where it's like they had all the tools to make it far, and obviously it just didn't work out. It didn't really seem like they just
Yeah,
didn't have it all together. But
I think Pettiford
yeah, I would
surprised me
definitely
from
say Trey
Auburn.
Johnson for sure.
Yeah, I just think about it because he's the reason why I wouldn't say won games, but he's the reason why they stayed in their games. Like Pettiford, he's just a flat out scorer. He's a flat out scorer. And like, when Broome went down against Michigan State, I just think back in that game, like Pettiford made a difference. Well, their whole team made a difference, but like Pettiford made a difference. And I think about their what it was the lead no the Sweet 16 game. Pettiford steps up against was it Crate? No, it was that was the first round. Man, I forgot. But anyway, but yes, Pettiford was the guy that surprised me, man. He was lighting up everybody. I'm interested to see. I know he just declared for the draft, but he's maintaining his eligibility. I wonder what is he gonna do going into the next level. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what he does after after everything gets said and done. He's a really good player, very, 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 very talented. Obviously, he's a point guard. I think one thing for him is just like he needs to establish what he's going to be really, really good at. I feel like
yeah,
he's good at a lot of things, but what's going to be his
yeah,
thing at that next level that he's going to take advantage of. This draft is filled with great, great, great guards. Um, Obviously, I feel like
mm-hmm.
this year has more guards with a lot more experience than others. Obviously, there are a lot of freshmen coming out, but when you look at guys like Caleb Love, who's been in college basketball for a good bit now, just like real vet, and still will put up 20 plus numbers on any given night. It's kind of like what that team needs at the next level. But I think Taha is gonna be very successful in the NBA for sure, for sure.
Yeah, facts. All right, but diving into the championship, man. So we just watched the game, one of the games of the year. I can't say it's a game of the
Ooh,
year because there was a lot of great games this season. But we just watched a remarkable game, man. So what are your
yep,
thoughts? Like your overall thoughts, man. Like what would you have done? Okay,
man.
better question. If you were the Houston head coach, if you were Kelvin Simpson, what would you have done with 19 seconds on the clock? Would you have gone for the game winning three, or would you have tied the game up and kept the game going?
That's a good question. I don't know if I can give you an answer. I'm not a coach, but I think what I would have done, no. What I would have done is, I don't know if they had timeouts left. Probably once it got to like
No,
under
they had.
12
Well, I
seconds,
stopped right there. They had
under
no timeouts
10,
left.
probably would have called another
He
timeout.
he
Got
called his last
the
one, drew up a play,
no
boom,
timeouts
19
left.
seconds ago.
Yeah, I'm probably going for the tie. I'm probably going to go for the tie. I feel like coming down the line, like towards the end of the game, Houston started to make a couple mistakes, a lot of turnovers and missed shots.
Yeah,
A lot of the plays looked discombobulated down the stretch there. I
yeah,
think from that standpoint, going for a three probably wasn't the best. They did have an okay shooting game, but when you look at the
yeah,
start of the game, they started what 0 for 6, 0 for 7. So did Florida, but it's like at that point, shots aren't really falling, right? I feel like they're
mhm,
really getting their bread and butter on like the offensive rebound, going back up, um, and just kind of like battling inside and just being Houston, just playing gritty basketball. So I feel like they really should have just resorted to that at the end. I feel like it would have
yeah.
been um, a better chance than what they got.
I think if I was coaching Houston right there, I would have definitely went for the two. I like to stretch the game out longer. I mean, they've proven all tournament that they can win
Yeah,
games at the right moments. You saw with Duke, you saw with Purdue. So
yeah,
I probably would have stretched the game out. And then like coming down the stretch of the game, I saw a lot of bad fouls, of course. And I thought the refs in the first half, they let them play. They let them play. But it was just a lot of bad fouls
yeah.
by
They did.
Houston. And then I'll say Walter Clayton actually made a difference coming down the stretch. Like he started driving the ball downhill, getting to the line. You know what I'm saying? That's how he got in rhythm. And I wish he would have
Yeah,
stayed. I wish he would have started the game off like that.
yeah. No, I agree. It's like it's kind of crazy that a team is still
Yeah,
around when your best player isn't really getting no buckets. Like it is kind of
yeah,
wild. He didn't score his first field goal until 8 minutes left into the game, and they were still like in the mix. Like they were probably down a couple buckets, but I mean that just shows you how good of a team Florida really is. Um, but nah, man, I agree with you. Like Houston definitely should have went for the two. They did have a good look. Obviously, what happened at the end. Good closeout
yeah,
by Florida. Guy was forced to put the ball on the ground. They dove on it. Yeah, super, super tough. Super, super tough.
yeah. So we look at Walter Clayton's game. Do you see him translating into a good NBA player?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Actually,
Uh,
okay, I'm gonna say yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why. His game's real slow. I was just talking about this the other day. His game's really slow. He has more of like controlled pace for this game. Um, not a like, and a lot of people have been comparing him to Steph lately. I don't know if you heard if you've
yeah.
heard, but a lot of people comparing him to Steph the way he can knock down shots and make tough ones, and he's proven that in the tournament. That alone he'll make his way in the NBA. I think it's going to take him a little bit to get his feet under him, but I think he's going to be really really well, and he can drive and get to the basket and create for his teammates that we've seen. So I think he's going to be good for sure.
I like I like the Steph comp, but I'm gonna have to disagree with it though. He's Jamal Murray, bro. Jamal Murray all the way.
Yeah,
Jamal Murray all the way. He's Jamal Murray all the way, bro.
Jamal Murray.
Like you just see,
Ah,
so Jamal Murray. Don't get me wrong. Jamal Murray is just a
I'm
pure
not mad
scorer,
about that. I'm not mad.
and that's what Walter Clayton is. Don't he can get his teammates involved, like we
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saw. Like he had like 6, 7 assists with 0 points. He was getting his teammates involved. He was pushing the ball out in transition, kicking it ahead to the big
yeah,
score. But like in terms of just scoring, like pure score, like he's a Jamal Murray dog. Like if you put him in with Jokic, I think you have similar
yeah.
comparison. If like if Walter Clayton got some years behind him and everything like that. But I think Walter is a Jamal Murray comp.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad about that comp. I'm not mad. You kind of convinced me a little bit, Jay. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I like the Jamal Murray comp, like you
yeah.
said, just real pure scorer. Obviously, able to knock down shots, able to get to the rim when he needs to. Obviously he's good at creating for his teammates already, which is what we've seen. So, I mean, you match him up with someone like Jokic, some really talented big in the league. I feel like they can definitely make some work and make some shake in the in the NBA for sure, for sure.
Yeah. I'll say this though. Walter Clayton, you got to get better at moving without the ball.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that's across the board for anyone coming out of college. If I'm being honest, anyone who's going to get
Yeah.
drafted first round, second round was probably the guy on their team, right? So like they're probably getting the ball most of the time. They all got to get
Hmm.
better off the ball, but I mean that's just going to come with time, you know.
Yeah.
Young guys making it to the league. So I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right. Do you think that he's going to be an all star? You think he'll end up being an all star?
Walter Clayton, All Star. I think he could be one. I mean, because I'm just looking at like pure scores. Like
I
he's
think
a pure scorer, which sometimes in the NBA don't work. Like I look at, let me think about somebody like
yeah,
Austin Rivers coming out. Austin Rivers was a pure scorer. And you see that, yeah, the Duke legend, but it didn't
yeah.
really translate to the
Duke
NBA.
legend.
Like he was was a role player. But I don't know. It's just something different, bro. It's something different about Walter. Like I do like the Steph comparison because I'm thinking about Steph coming out of
Hmm.
Davidson. You know what I'm saying? He was just a pure scorer. Still a point guard, pure scorer. But
Yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna say obviously fit is everything, right? We've seen guys who, for example, we had
hmm
Devin Booker was playing on a great Kentucky team, but was came off the
yeah,
bench. He makes it to the NBA, bro's hooping. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Zach LaVine when he went to UCLA, the same thing, was playing off the bench in college, but gets to the NBA and is
yeah,
killing and is frying. So it's definitely about fit for sure. I agree with you. But I think from what we've seen and the way in the way we will watch him progress in the NBA, I
yeah,
feel like
for sure.
it's definitely possible that he could be an All Star, 100%, hundred
Well,
percent.
is he a lottery? Go ahead. Yeah, is he a lottery?
Ah, I mean, I think he's played well enough to be considered a lottery, but I'm gonna say no. He's not a lottery. There's a lot of good guys. There's a lot of good guys.
See, I think if he don't go lottery, teams are gonna regret not taking him lottery because he's gonna fall to a team, a really good team. And he's gonna fall to a really good team,
Yeah,
have some really good
yeah,
vets
really
around
good
him,
team.
and the league's gonna be they're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, he reminds me of like a Peyton Pritchard out of college. Like obviously was the yeah Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard. He's like obviously he's the man on the team right now. Obviously everyone knows how good he really is. He's not gonna get drafted
Yeah.
too high, but he's gonna
Nah,
fall to a
that's
really
a
good team in a couple years.
hey,
Yeah, he's gonna
you
be
might
that
know some
guy.
shit.
Yeah,
You
he's
might
gonna
know
be
some
that
shit.
guy.
That was a good
I'm
comparison
saying
right
that's
there.
how it's gonna go. That's how it's gonna go. Hey, listen, I'm telling you
Yeah.
that's how it's gonna go.
Shit.
Peyton Pritchard, Walter Clayton, like this. They the same, one and the same, one and
I
the
don't know
same.
where Boston's order is shit. But a team like Boston might draft his ass.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a late. He's gonna be first round. I think he should be first round. It's gonna be between like
yeah.
18 and like 23, like somewhere in between there. Because I'm not gonna lie, from what I've seen in the NBA, it's just like every team every team from start to finish, everyone has really good guards. Like I feel like every single team has like a really good guard. Now everyone's trying to fill in
Hmm.
with that big spot, that like tweener, that like 3, 4, 5, like can shoot a
Yeah,
little bit of everything. Like everyone need to fill it up. Every team needs an OG and an Obi. And if you don't have, and if you're not like a Cooper flag, if you're not like a Dylan Harper type of guy, if you're not someone that's a little bit like generational talent wise, that's what teams are going to be looking for. Which is why I think
yeah,
Walter Clayton will drop a bit, but I think he's definitely talented
yeah.
to be a lottery. I think he's definitely talented to be a lottery for sure. I mean, bro was shit, took Florida to a natty champ and won. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny that. You can't deny that. That's tough. That's tough.
It's remarkable. This is my. I'm not gonna say this is one of the best. I mean, he's one of the best players I've seen in my lifetime in college for sure. I'm not gonna say it's like the best performance because I haven't been around that damn long. But yeah, he's is one of the best performances I've seen in my lifetime, like in the NCAA tournament. If you are an NBA GM, are you drafting Janai Broom? Is he worth a top 60 pick?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I think he's good for Auburn because he's just that do it all guy. But like I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's gonna pan out well in the NBA. I think he's a little
Yeah,
undersized. He can make a shot. He's not super strong. He's not super athletic. He's not gonna jump over bigs getting rebounds. He kind of moves a little bit slow, which honestly the way bigs are starting to pan out with guys like Wemby, Chet, and even those 4 and 3 guys, since he's a little undersized, they're just a lot quicker and more athletic, and that's why I don't think he's gonna pan. I'm not drafting. Me
yeah,
personally, I'm getting a guy like Coop, you know what I'm saying, or like
yeah.
someone like that, a little bit lankier, a little more
Yeah.
athletic. You know what I'm saying? That's my take.
I agree with you because when I think about, like you said, the Wemby, the Chets, when I think about an NBA big now, and I'm thinking about a 7 footer or a
Yeah,
6'11" guy
yeah,
that can actually, they can lead a break. You know what I
yeah,
mean? They can knock down a 3-point shot. So,
yeah,
Janai, don't get me wrong, great
yeah.
college player,
Great,
great.
great.
But I just don't see him. And I hope he proves us wrong. I really
Yeah,
do.
no facts,
But
facts.
if my check is on the line and I got to draft somebody,
Yeah,
I can't draft Denai
can't do
Brew.
it. No, I can't do it. Can't do it. Like you said, great college player. Gonna go down as a legend at Auburn for what he did this season. He
Yeah,
brought them super close to the Natty champ. They honestly probably should have won. Unfortunate there, but yeah, in the NBA, the NBA is changing right in front of our eyes. Like, and he
yeah,
and he's got to generate something. Like whether it's a shot, crazy handle, little size up, good back to the basket moves. A lot of his stuff he was doing this year was super super simple, which is obviously going to work. Right, it's going to work
mhm,
in the college and the system that Auburn got, but in the NBA, bro, it's a little bit different. Half the NBA is one on one. If I'm
yeah,
being real, half the NBA is one on one. So if you can't bang down low with guys at 7 feet, super athletic, then I personally don't think it's gonna work out.
yeah. I'll say one thing. He was a NIL transfer
Yeah,
portal gem though.
yeah,
He was a gem. He was definitely a
for
gem.
sure.
Like
No, no, poster
Bruce,
boy. Yeah, poster boy.
yeah, for sure. Like that's what college coaches are looking for right now. In terms of like, let's get a guy that averages 14, 15 at a mid major,
Yeah,
come in, he knows how to play the game. He might
yeah,
not be a winner yet, but he knows how to play in a college program. He knows
yeah,
what it takes. He doesn't have an ego. Like
yeah.
I, I think he was definitely a gem. And
You,
I
you.
know you, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, I know you was around in college during the transfer portal, man. How crazy
Yeah,
was that shit for you?
I was just about to ask you the same thing, but
Oh,
nah, the transfer portal. Honestly, it wasn't that crazy. Like it wasn't that crazy. You enter, obviously, you just get hella coaches reaching out to you at once. It's not like I was a high prospect or anything like that. Obviously, as you know, so and I was still getting a lot of love from a lot of people. So it's just like it's super overwhelming, but it's super fun at the same time. It's kind of like you in high school all over again. You know what I'm saying? You're going on your visits, you talking to
Yeah.
coaches, you've seen what they can do for you in your game. Obviously, it's more important now because you got less years, but nah, it was crazy. But this year, Jay, the amount, this year, Jay, the amount of players that are in the transfer portal. I'm seeing on TV that some teams are being left with three players like right now. Like all
Yeah.
the team in the transfer portal graduated, three players left. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a whole. It's gonna like we're in an era where you might have a natty champ team one year and a completely different team the next year,
Hmm.
which is insane to me. Like that's
Yeah.
insane to me.
I
But
saw a stat. I saw a stat. It was like, I believe as of Saturday, it was over 2,000 players in the transfer portal. 2,000.
yeah, that's. I'm not gonna lie, that's unheard of. That's
Yeah.
unheard of. But
I
I
remember
mean,
my days. I was about to say, I remember my days when I was at North Georgia, when, transfer, y'all had the rules
yeah,
changed and everything like that. I'm at the desk and Adam and Dad, they like, all right, let's go find us some players. I'm going up and down scrolling. I'm like, man, fuck this.
yeah,
Like, like I was not interested. I'm like, cause I'm going and I'm looking at the guy, I'm looking at the school, and I'm like, okay, like, cause you gotta think like, we're the D2 level. So I'm like, okay, is he averaging, like, where's he coming from? If he's D1, okay, is he averaging 6 points, 5 points? Cause we're not gonna get no guy that's averaging
yeah,
12,
yeah.
11, you know. But
Do
anyway, but I just remember how long those days were just
yeah,
trying to search and find someone. And then we didn't
yeah,
have NIL. I mean, of course, North Georgia, we were not giving out NIL. So that
yeah,
put another factor into it right now
for
too.
sure.
So
Nah, facts, facts. Do you think that the transfer portal is good for college basketball?
no, I
Or
don't think
like,
so.
or do you think like the combination of NIL and transfer portal together is good for college basketball
No,
in the
I
long run?
don't. I mean, for the players, like I love it for the players because they can go out and
Yeah,
get paid and everything. But like I'm thinking about it as a coaching perspective, it's hard. Like, don't get me wrong, people always like, oh, the coaches get paid, the coaches do this, but you just added like another element to them. And it's a reason
yeah,
why a lot of coaches are leaving. Cause that shit's hard.
yeah,
Like you're recruiting like nonstop. You're trying to gather money, get donations, you know what I'm saying? So you can get high level talent. So it just brings another element into it. And I
yeah.
personally, I just feel for the coaches with it. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. See, like you think about the coaches because that's what you are. I'm thinking about the players. Right
yeah,
now, it really just seemed like it's just business. But think about it like this, Jay. It's like right now we're seeing guys who went to low major D1s, averaging somewhere between 11 and 15, and then they're going to play at Kentucky next year. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like it's really just like we're starting to see that going anywhere from high to low D1 does not mean anything. Like it means something, but it's like, yo, we got guys that playing low D1 that, yo, I may be at so and so school this year, but yo, I'm at Duke next year. Now
yeah,
now now I'm in draft conversations next year. I'm making so and so money from NIL. Like things can change like that, and we're seeing that for real. Like it's crazy.
yeah.
It's great from a player's perspective, I think.
I mean, it's great, but it's like it's basically NBA free agency. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
But it's on a
facts.
crazier scale though. Like you gotta think the NBA only have X like 50 ish players probably in free agency. I don't know, some
Yeah,
number like that.
it's
And then you got draft guys getting drafted. So it's not a huge window of players. You have 2,000 players to go through,
yeah.
and on top of freshmen coming in.
Yeah, no, it's wild. It's like NBA free agency, like you said, without any binding contracts. Like it's up to the players on what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if LeBron was like, yeah, ah, like yeah, LA
Mhm.
cool, like I love LA, but I'm trying to test the water, see what else, or like
Yeah.
whoever. So it's definitely crazy in that instant. You got your team's best players. Shoot, they can play in that North Carolina one year. Duke
Hmm.
that next year. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never know what's going to happen, which I think it makes college basketball that much more interesting year over year.
You think they should have binding contracts? I mean, I go ahead.
I'm not going to lie. I think there's going to come a time where that's going to have to be inputted into like signing your national letter of intent. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a thing. It's going to be like, yeah, you got to stay here for at least 2 years. Or like you
Yeah.
got to stay here for like at least 3 years or whatever it may be. I mean, unless you declare for the draft. but like you
hmm
can't transfer to a school in conference or like something like that. Like that's going to start to come into play for sure because the amount of
Yeah.
transfers we're seeing right now is crazy. It's
hmm
crazy.
I'm looking at a player like Mikey Williams. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes or anything, but I know he's about to be like on his third school or
Yeah,
fourth school, whatever. I'd be like, hey, bro, you got to sign this contract. Like to
yeah,
come here, you got to at least stay here for 2 years, bro.
yeah.
Like, or something like that. But it should be clauses into it as well. Like,
Hmm.
okay, if he, if something go
Yeah,
wrong or,
yeah.
if it's a
That's what
mutual,
it's a mutual.
yeah, if a mutual thing, like, all right, we can just go our separate
Yeah,
ways. But I think in order to get like some kind of control over it, like you have to, there has to be some contracts in place.
yeah. No, no. It's definitely it's a slippery slope though. Like if it's mutual, it's like, yo, if I'm a player and I go to a coach, let's say you're my coach, and I'm like, yo, like I don't think it's a good fit. I'm not really getting the big minutes. I'm not scoring as much. Coach like, nah, like we got plans for you next year. I don't want you to leave. And next,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? As a player,
yeah,
what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely interesting, but I'm excited to see how it goes, how it starts to move forward with it for sure.
yeah. And I was thinking about an example of like Kirby Smart.
Yeah,
He did he did a press conference a few weeks ago saying basically like he don't want to play spring game just because like
yeah,
they're giving other teams the option of seeing their players, and now their players after the spring game getting in the portal,
yeah.
leaving. So it's
Hmm.
like, okay, he has to recruit 10 times harder after the damn spring game because he's missing players.
Yeah, because as soon as that spring game hit, and then the players who really don't get a lot of burn, they're like, oh, I know how the season finna go. Yeah, I'm finna
Yeah.
get out of here now before it even get there. So yeah,
And,
that's a good point. That's a good point, Jay.
and then they have tape. So other coaches are watching them. Like,
Facts.
okay, you know how this shit go. Like
Yeah,
these motherfuckers on the phone, like they talking. I mean, it's probably illegal, but they on the phone talking to whoever,
yeah.
their agents are shopping them around.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
come on.
Yeah. Now it's just business. It's
Yeah,
just business. So yeah, I'm excited to see, even for football, man. I'm excited to see what this new year talk about for sure.
man. I just want to, before you get out of here, man, we switching gears one thing. The
Okay.
NBA season is about to end. So, MVP race. You got SGA versus Yoke. Who you taking?
How many MVPs Jokic got now? He got like three.
I think it's either two or three. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see how many you got.
I feel like he on three. I feel like he on three.
He has, yep, he got three.
Yeah, he's not getting another. Like I don't think they're gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna lie. SGA does deserve it. SGA's putting up crazy numbers. Well, he's got to be close to averaging a triple double on the best team in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Ye-
Whether he gets them off free throws or not, he's averaging a triple double on the or if not a triple double, close to a triple double on the best team in the NBA. It's got to be SGA.
I give you the stats right now. SGA, 32, 5, and 6. Yoke,
Oh, not
30, 30, 12, and 10. He's
ah
averaging a triple double, dog.
yeah. That's tough. I'm not gonna lie, that's
Come
very
on
tough.
now. Come
Yeah,
on now. And then after Yoke's like his last couple games, like that 61, 10 and 10, like I'm just thinking about games like that. Like, and I look at Yoke's team. Don't get me wrong. They won a championship in 2023, but honestly, they're not the same Nuggets.
yeah,
But you see, he's winning them games. He's literally winning them games. And I look at SGA, I look at OKC. SGA has more of a supporting cast, in my opinion, than Denver.
mm, I'm not gonna lie. I don't agree with you. I don't. I really do think you're wrong. It's MVP, most valuable player. If
hmm
OKC don't have SGA, they're nowhere close to being the best team in the West. I think they're lower. I mean, and the Lakers are doing good. I think they're under LA. And what's Denver's place right now? Like what are they?
I think four. I think four.
They're fourth. Bros,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
I mean, it's
I'm.
because of I mean, it's just like it's
Yeah,
basically the same. It's
yeah.
the same situation. If you're saying that, I'm saying OKC definitely has a better team, in my opinion, than the Nuggets. So I'm just like, what Oak? I mean, with Yoke off of, I mean, of course, you're right. If SGA is off of OKC, it's
Yeah,
not
I
the
think
same
they drop.
OKC.
I think they drop. They do. They
But
definitely have the players though, like surrounding, but I think they drop.
if if Yoke is off Denver's not even a playoff team. Well, they'd be a play-in, like they'd be at
Yeah,
9 and 10.
yeah,
But I will say this. I think SGA would definitely win an MVP, but I think Yoke, like if I was a vote, I'm giving Yoke that vote.
yeah. Okay. Do you think that like? Do you think SGA is more valuable to the Thunder than Jokic is valuable to the Nuggets? You know what I'm trying to say? Like what player is more valuable to their friendship to their franchise?
Uh, Shit.
And that's what I'm
Damn.
trying to say because it's like Jokic puts up numbers, but Denver still got those guys that's like you'll get Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. Like you got Jamal Murray, you got Russ who's starting to hoop a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
take
It's
back what I
like
said.
you know
I'm thinking about the roster. You said it. I'm thinking
you know
about.
what I'm
I'm
saying?
taking it off that. Yeah,
Peyton Watson. So I mean, when guys are healthy, it's kind of like
yeah,
like they still got those guys that's like, and I'm not gonna say I'm not saying that OKC don't, right? You got Lou Dort who always gonna hoop. You got J
J
Dub who always gonna
Dub.
hoop. You got Chet. You got all those guys that still hoopers, but at the end of the day, like I don't know. You take SGA off that lineup, it's not looking so sweet. It's not looking
Yeah,
so sweet. So I think in terms of like actual value, like most valuable player, I think he's the most valuable player in the NBA right now.
yeah.
That's
I
what I'm gonna
think
say.
honestly though, I think both. I think both of them bring a huge amount of value to their teams.
Yeah,
Um,
facts.
and I think this is probably one of the best MVP races.
Hmm.
One of the best. I mean, I do think SGA is going to win just
Yeah,
based off like the whole season. I think he's been highlighted more than anybody this whole
yeah.
season.
No facts.
But like if you really dive into it, this is a really good MVP race because you got a
Yeah,
guy that's averaging 30, 10 and 10, another one averaging
yeah.
32, 5 and 6. Like that's unheard of. And then you probably have Giannis. I don't know Giannis's stats right now. He's not in our, he's not really in the race,
Yeah,
but Giannis's stats are still up there.
yeah,
So.
facts.
But anyway, though, I just want to say appreciate you stepping in today, man.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime.
Talking some good hoops, man. Like I said, this is my boy Zach. He'll be on from time to time with us, man. But anyway, I'm your host, Jay Mack. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Find us on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Dawg Talk. We out.